Today we're going to play mini Motorways and have a crack at the weekly challenge. So this is the weekly challenge of the week of 15th of November. So we've got unlimited traffic lights, we have destinations more likely to be double destinations, and we're starting off with 4 bridges. So imagine those 4 bridges are going to be handy. I did have a look and there's a fair few quite high scores in the top 10. We're looking at there's an 11,000 in there and some 7,000s. So having double destinations and getting that high is definitely something to tip your hat at. So we'll see how we go. Especially, I guess, if we're going to have them turn into circles. Starting with 4 bridges on this level is probably going to be a big advantage. And the traffic lights will be good too. In both that we've got so many of them. And that also we have traffic. It means the traffic lights will be removed from what we get at the end of each week, which gives us, I guess, a better chance of getting motorways, roundabouts. Okay, so here we go with our first combination. Get these guys to just sort of sidle up inside him. Take the roundabout because we've got 4 bridges. I don't think I need to set up, say, a set of lights there, because he's more just considered a driveway onto this road as opposed to being an intersection. So the divide of one yellow house to the top guy and then 2 to the bottom isn't ideal. Obviously we want at least 3 houses while they're squares connected. I mean, we've only got 3 houses in total, so not too much we can do about that, I suppose. I don't know why they gifted us so kindly with 3 white houses. Get-go. Okay, so we'll flip this guy around. I think the way to look at houses in double destination levels is that there isn't the same sort of level of segregation that you're looking at. Essentially, yellow and blue houses, when it comes to this destination here, are exactly the same. We want them all connected. They can just sort of be the same one neighborhood connecting into the destination, because yeah, it's all the same now. Okay, so we've got him. I feel like what we want to do is, we've got a fair bit of road at this point, so let's just burn some of that. And we'll take them the long way around. Now, I realize that goes completely into what I just said, and that we could probably set these 2 guys up here. Shorten that route a little bit. And we'll just keep an eye on how they're going and whether we need to shift this guy to the top. Take the motorway for sure. Okay. What do we want to do here? Now again, we've moved up, so we can run across the top. And we do have enough to get away with it. Let's have them swing down there. Guess we'll get this guy to come over that way. I think that might turn this into an intersection. So that'll be our first set of traffic lights. But he is our auxiliary house, so hopefully he shouldn't be enacted too often. Okay. So let's that guy to swing this way, put him up there, and we'll get this guy to come across as well. In fact, what we'll do is we'll shift that so that they become driveways. Again, it's still just this one. It's probably my big concern. It's only one blue house on it. Okay, we'll just pause for a second while we build this one, because there's definitely a lot of spots that we could lose that would make that a lot trickier. If there was a house that sprung up anywhere in there. Still yet to use a bridge here. Given it's 4 houses for the top route, it is the longest one. Could build a road here to connect this to these guys. And that would mean that we can shift these guys to look after this circle one that's possibly going to have bigger problems sooner. Okay, so now we have our first bridge. Let him go that way. We'll connect those two. Though we probably need more, likely need 3 for him than for him, because he's the further away one. So we've got 2 roundabouts, so we'll take a bridge. We can see he's not being used for this guy yet. Okay, so we just had everything escalate slightly. Get him in. There's our second blue house for that guy, so that's positive. Now I've got a white neighborhood down here. We could get to here if we need. We can just take advantage of a bridge. We've got plenty of them. They can come in there. And it means we can actually get rid of that. Pause this for a second. He come in that way. We give him one of those infinite traffic lights. And then we swing these 2 guys that way, so that now he's got 3, and then we can just bring this guy across. Now what I've missed is this guy, and so what we need to do is get these 3 guys to connect together, bring all the way around, take care of him. It's not as bad as it looks. I mean, he's just had, that's his 7th, 8th sort of house. So his first sort of 6 should hopefully clean him most of the way up. That's just the long trip back that's going to make it seem a bit more disastrous, I'd say. Now we'll take the motorway. We will welcome a 3rd car here. Help him out. Like I said, I think he is actually okay. It possibly just looks worse than it actually is at the moment. I'll just steady the ship, and once I've got it, they'll be right. Don't think I've got any need for this guy at the moment. Let's pause for a second. These guys down in here. Set of traffic lights there. Now, I think these guys have a good enough argument to gain a motorway. That's going to be a long journey, 3 rivers to have to cross to get over here. So we'll just let them have that. Blue. No road tiles at the moment. Just give him a makeshift little bridge. surprised they didn't give me any more houses for this guy. So I'm still only operating on 3. That's the thing I wanted to get rid of. Three up for him, 3 for him, 2 for him. Just getting this guy here. I can't really connect to anything. Be more of a roundabout than a... Now with this neighborhood here, as ugly as it looks, doesn't mean I don't need this anymore. These two guys can now work for him. And does also give me the luxury that these two guys can work. We can shift them to work for this one. He's unsurprisingly unhappy with his current accommodations. So what we'll do is we will just press that with this guy here. It's just a little bit extra help while we figure out what our long-term solution is for this guy. I think the two of them on their own should be able to take care of him at this stage. Worst case, we can flip around this guy. No real use for him where he's currently sitting, I don't think. A lot of dark blue houses over here. A lot of dark blue houses for how few dark blue we've got. Meanwhile, blue is so few in houses for 3 destinations. Alright, so I guess firstly we can just take advantage of those 2 yellow houses there. We don't have to worry about pulling any of these guys around. I'm just on the lookout for my next blue house. Help this guy out, but we can say that this guy's now pretty much under control. Okay, so we want to get a bit more attention to this guy. What we might do is just thin that out. Just give them the motorway. That would mean that this... Well, we can put a roundabout in there, I suppose. Alright, so use a roundabout for this actually. What we'll do is we will reclaim that roundabout. We'll move him into that one to begin with because we just ended up getting a huge neighborhood over here. And then we'll just make that a set of lights. We'll put the roundabout here. Move that to there. We'll get the 2 of them to connect, so it just means that we're going to be in a dangerous moment here while we wait for all these guys to get back away from this bridge before the new one comes in. Luckily, because we just gained that motorway there, it added itself, and we can still wait till that one goes so we get one back. Okay, so now we have blue, who we still don't really have a good good build for. There is a highlighted point here that this guy here could easily just shift north and support this guy way better than these guys over here can. Which I actually think is a really good argument for shifting this motorway to over here. So, let's move this to there. Let's put those 2 guys bang on it. Put that one up there. And put him up there as well. No real way that we can do that doesn't end up with a traffic light there, probably. So 3 of those are now up there. It means that we can get rid of all of that road. These 2 guys we can swing south as well, and they get the other motorway, which will take them to there. Quite possibly this neighbourhood would benefit from a roundabout at this end too. But hopefully it's just sort of a teething issue. You can see how many cars are currently in demand. At least these last added ones aren't needing to be sent. But at least for the meantime we've got a bit of cleanup to do with those 2 purple houses. Certainly if we got another highway we could divide that work between the 2. And we need to keep an eye on what we can do with blue houses that we do have. Like, say, that guy I certainly will at least send help out over there. But I would like to... I suppose that's got 3 houses, including this one. Make the motorway. This one has 3 houses. And then that one has 3 houses, so he's the only one with 2, but he's actually got the closest population. They don't need the roundabout anymore either. That's certainly a dated... thing that they had. So, what we can do is down the bottom here, we can now look to give these guys their own highway, and give those guys their own highway. Won't sort of push the point at this stage, because it looks like they're okay. But let's put a roundabout in here, start to build with these houses at the back that aren't being used. Just claim those ones. We'll put a line out there. That's ready to go. Put that connection and run him to there. And what we'll do is we'll put a little loop there. I suppose the way these guys are moving is alright. And if they're only having to look after one, it's not as bad, so we'll shift that to there. Then we will split them up so that they don't try and look after each other's warehouses and cause more traffic up there. Okay. We have a lot of white houses now at the top. Take the roundabout. We need these guys to get over to look after this. This blue house will try and sneak in there. So how do we get these guys across without causing too much harm to this blue guy? Now, luckily that blue is a square, he's not a circle. So he's probably not going to suffer too much pain if we're cutting across his path. We don't have any motorways that we can just sort of jump over him to give him less grief. We have this yellow house down here that we can probably just join on there to help someone out. We also need to give some more white houses to this guy. He is not happy. He's got 5. So let's give him this guy. His houses are a bit distant too. There's a much more direct route that he could get coming straight down here, but there's both sides of this double destination are coming around that way, so it's not really an option. So let's put a roundabout in here. Right there. And what we'll do is we'll run these guys in there. These 2 guys here can sort of just come back down that road. And then we'll go up and across. Purple. So what we can do there is we can take the houses that are at the back here. Just run them up. There we go. This guy's looking bad, but it's purely because they just stopped supplying him with cars while we moved this highway. So hopefully that should just fix itself the next moment. Again, it's more this guy. I've I've got concerns about. I mean, possibly the closest houses for him are these guys here. But then if we took them away from him, then we're just creating ourselves a new problem. And these guys connected here is good too for him. It means that we can also open up the availability of things on this side. It's quite a worthwhile point for someone to be attached. I'll take the roundabout. Yeah, we're getting a new purple neighborhood over here too. We have so many purple houses, so... Now the question, I guess, is do we have enough houses looking after this guy now that he's gone circular? So we'll bring this guy around to help out that one who looks to be struggling a little bit. We'll bring him into that connection. And... see, is that they moving alright to there? There's nothing to sort of be too concerned about. Let's flip some guys into helping with this one. I believe there's 2 guys under there, but we can't get them. I guess I can get him to connect like that. And we can get these guys to connect, so I can flip him around to help out with this one that's struggling. Might turn this guy around as well, to see if he can help out down here. Even if it's just temporary. See, for the most part, at least this guy here, he's still staying at home, which means that all the cars that are trying to address everything that's currently there are already on the road. And the fact that he's still not going means that it's being addressed by ones that are getting home and then immediately coming out. So it means at least he's, I guess, balanced his approach. This guy's looking better than expected. Take a motorway. Okay. Now with the motorway we could shift. We'd let these guys jump over this road, but as long as that and that are both not circles, it doesn't much matter, I don't think. I think I'm better off trying to figure out if there's a way that I can just get these guys to jump. I don't think... Possibly what I could do here is just get these guys to swing down and just attach that. If they're potentially closer, that might help out. Might also help if I make that as a roundabout. But it would mean I'd have to move that. I'll be able to just flip it like that. It might still work for me. There we go. So I can have it swing into the roundabout without having to cancel that road. Might not crash and burn entirely. So what we might do up here is let's pivot these guys into a nice little huddle. Again, we've got a roundabout. Let's get that in there. Turn these guys around so that they now head north. And then just have a nice little step down. A tiny little motorway that they just use to hop over to take care of this. Okay. Apparently that motorway was stopping me from having a a really nightmarish scenario play out. So let's figure out how we accommodate these 2 guys. Well, we've got another blue house up here. These guys are looking after him, but they've also got these 2 houses here, so we could possibly bring these blue guys back to look after this. Alright, and what we need here is actually we need both blue and white. And so what we have up here is blue and white. So what can we do to actually just claim this road for here? just mean that we'd need to find some houses that can look after this guy. What if we made that these three? So if we disconnect these three guys, we hope that what we've done here is actually going to help just the speed that these four guys can get in to help that guy out. We then send these three guys up through here. We get rid of that. We get rid of that. Then we build with this run. Not going to snake through there, is it? You can have this run through here. Was there a... I don't know if there was a set of... Alright, I've made this the wrong way. These guys should be looking after him. And then I can get rid of that, because that's only a square. Four guys can definitely take care of that. We can reclaim that road. Just have to hold for a second while we wait for this correction of this motorway going away. May not have enough time to just wait, so let's make that there to allow these blue guys and white guys to come through and cater to that mess. If this guy's starting to panic, let's give him a few more houses. We've got plenty to spare for green. Okay, we've got our motorway. So what we can do now is sort of put the motorway up there. Oh, it means that they're going to now turn. Oh no, we can just put it there, I suppose. Around that way. Do that. I hope we've not got too many blue houses in there that are going to suffer and collapse under this. What we'll do now is get rid of that. We'll take the roundabout, we'll get rid of that, that. See if these blue guys can sustain this as they get there and answer the call. We do have a lot of white guys still just moving across, but I don't know if we need that. I don't know if I don't have enough white to look after this guy, that we actually do need those cars to just move through sometimes. Undecided. Or are they just going to cause more congestion for everyone? Now, we can connect. We do need to give this guy more houses though. He's understaffed. So we can see how many guys at the back here are just sitting doing nothing. So let's move these out of the way so we can see. I can't get him to connect. That guy's doing okay down there. At the top of the road up here, we'll swip that guy around. We'll disconnect this guy. In fact, I can just let him connect to either one of these. Let's get him to connect to that guy to help out. We'll then take these two guys here. We'll give him them as a friend. And then we'll run them up in there. So we double the amount of yellow we've got looking after that. I think that's probably a better option for these guys. I'm just complaining this yellow down here. I forgot to connect anything to him, didn't I? Yep. That could possibly have been a disastrous thing. Luckily, he's just he's a circle, not a... Sorry, he's a square, not a circle. I think that's the only thing that would have allowed us to keep alive with a mistake like that. We've still got two bridges, so we'll take the roundabout. So many houses over here. This guy's complaining again. might just flip another guy around. This guy's got 2 houses down here and then 3 up there, so he's still got 5. We'll give this guy just the 4th as support for now. The other blue down here is struggling too, but we can give him a couple more houses. This blue's also struggling. There's another house for him. We need him. This guy as well is on a little bit of a struggle. Did I not connect that guy? That's twice I've done that where I've accidentally just connected him to the other house and then just sort of corrected the other house and left him be. Okay. Sort of steadied out again. 2 more blue houses up the top here that we can use, but I feel like adding them is just going to slow down that connection. Because they all run into that, it almost would make that a slowed intersection. Undecided if it's worth connecting them there. This guy here is still not doing crash hot. He's never really been too happy. It would be, I mean, at this point I would happily even give these guys like highways just to sort of give them a little bit extra, because it just seems like the distance traveled is making them take too long, even though it's not that far. Try shifting houses from here, but I mean this guy's almost as bad as lower one is, and you can see that that road is completely full of green cars, so they're getting there. Just give me a highway. He's gonna close as well, I'd say. Especially these guys that are coming through that are sort of heading across to the other side. That was never a great layout, I think. Alright, let's see how we did. 4,600. 116. Alright, not too bad. There we go. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But till next time, catch you later. See ya.